All right, so this is going to be a 5-minute video on the topic of speciation. First thing we're going to talk about is the definition of a species. So hopefully you remember that a species is a group of organisms that can reproduce with one another and produce fertile offspring. Speciation is a process within evolution that leads to the formation of new distinct species that are reproductively isolated. Okay, so this is all going to have to do with being able to make healthy babies that can make their own offspring. If you can't make babies, then you're going to be a different species. All right. So speciation occurs when gene flow has stopped. All right. Gene flow is the exchange of DNA. When two organisms are reproducing, they're exchanging DNA through their sperm and egg cells. All right. Mom gives half her DNA, dad gives half his DNA. All right, now, if a population isn't exchanging DNA, then they're going to be two different species. So there's going to be two different categories of speciation. There's what we call pre-zygotic barriers and post-zygotic barriers. Pre, as you know, means before. So pre-zygotic is before baby, before the zygote. This is a whole bunch of different types of pre-zygotic barriers. We're going to get into some of them. Some of them happen before mating is even attempted, okay, and others happen after mating is attempted. So behavioral isolation, this is an action done by male or female to attract the other and to get them to want to mate with them. So birds are a great example, a really fun example. Just like people, birds do different things to try to get a female to mate with them. So like a male bird will sing a song, and if the female likes the song, then she'll say, okay, I'll mate with you. Or a male might, take a look at this, do a little dance. All right, and if the female likes the dance, then she'll say, okay, I'll mate with you. So that's behavioral isolation. Geographic isolation, as the name implies, geo, is referring to separation by a physical barrier like a mountain or a river. Geography of the earth, okay? In this scenario here, we have some salamanders native to California, and there are a whole bunch of different species of salamanders. They're actually separated by this large expanse of desert in central California, okay? And because of that, they don't mate. And because they're not mating, they're different species. Another really clear example are these squirrels that are native to the Grand Canyon. So on one side of the canyon, we have one species of squirrels, and on the other side of the canyon, we have a different species of squirrels. That's geographic, separated by a large earth structure of earth separates them. All right, temporal isolation. In this scenario, they're separated by time of the year. So the cricket on the left mates in the spring, whereas the cricket in the right picture mates in the fall. All right, another great example of this is the spotted skunk. So the eastern spotted skunk breeds in the winter, and the western spotted skunk breeds in the summer. So they're separated by the time of the year that they choose to mate. Mechanical isolation has to do with structural differences in genitalia. Okay, so the male and female parts of the organism don't fit together. This is common in insects, and it's also common in flowers. So here's an example with flowers. The flower has different structural openings, so different pollinators can reach inside, such as the hummingbird here, the moth. In gametic isolation, the gametes, sperm and egg cells, sex cells, are going to fail to unite together. So